Chapter number 7, Sampling Methods. Now first let us understand some of the key terms of this chapter. Population. A set or group of all units or items under study is called population. Now here we can take example. For example, if we want to decide about the average production of rice in any one district of Gujarat, then all the farms, whether it is small or big, of that district, it is known as the population of that particular study. One more example, that is if we want to study the IQ level of students in 12th standard of Gujarat board, then all 12th standard students of Gujarat board is our population. Second is sample. A set or group of units selected from population on basis of some definite criteria, that is called sample. Now sample example, suppose if you are talking about the IQ level of students. So from that 1000 students only, if we are selecting some students on basis of some criteria, then set of this 1000 students becomes our sample. Or other example you can take, that is if we study about the average production of rice in any one district of Gujarat, and if some of the farms we are selecting, then it is known as sample for that particular study. Now here we have two, that is sample with replacement and sample without replacement. So in sample with replacement, the unit selected, it is first drawn and then again it is replaced back before selecting the second sample. So that is sample with replacement. And sample without replacement means first we are selecting the unit and then we are not again replacing it before selecting the second sample. So with replacement, we replace once the unit gets selected at first, and here we are not replacing it. Third is population inquiry. So the inquiry in which information is collected from each and every unit of the population is called population inquiry. The best example here we can take is the census survey, which is taken by the government of India. Every 10 years the census survey is conducted. Now as such census survey, suppose if you want to study about the marks of 10th and 11th or 11th or 12th standard students of a particular school, and we collect marks of each and every student of 11th and 12th standard of that particular school, then it is a population inquiry. Sample inquiry. The inquiry in which information is collected from few units selected from the population is called sample inquiry. For example, to study or to analyze spending habit of a student of a particular college, if we collect information of spending habit of few students selected with definite criteria of that college, then it is an example of sample inquiry. Other one example we can take, that is a drop of blood. Testing a drop of blood drawn from the body to determine the blood group of a person. That is also an example of sample survey. Now some of the important points which we need to consider while selecting the sample size. And sampling means, that is the procedure of selecting a sample from a population is called sampling. Now few points which is to be considered while determining sample size, that is size of population and scope of study. Second is the variability in the units of the population or heterogeneity of the population. Third one is availability of resources like time, money and technical expertise. And last one is expected level of accuracy of sample results. Now, why there is a need for sampling? Now, suppose the quality control departments of a factory, they randomly selects a few units from the total population to check the quality of the units produced. So the total production of that factory is considered as population, and the few units which are selected to determine the quality, they becomes the sample. Now it is not possible to check each and every unit of the population, right? So the procedure of selecting some milk for determining the fat from the milk brought by a milkman to the dairy, or checking the blood sample of few patients suffering from a particular disease to detect the cause of the disease. There are some examples of sampling.